So, hello, welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today you're gonna see our new functions for the newest update, and we will go step by step through the new functions. And when there are any questions, just let me know in the chat. I will always keep an eye on it. And yeah, then let's start. Our first new function is just to make it a bit more convenient to you. So when we have like a project like this and we make some changes and we want to start a new project, then I need to make a change. So when we make a change, I will load it again because I haven't changed it, so I couldn't show you the newest function. Because when you want to save something, like you load a project like this, and you are doing here change the width of the area, then we need to save it again. So earlier we needed to click here on new, and we get the question project save. We click here on yes, and now it's automatically choosing the right one, and we click here on yes. So, and now our new project has started. All right, so the next function is also to make it a bit more convenient to you, because you see here the background. Yeah, you have a scale from white to black, and now you're able to customize it yourself, and therefore you click here on the top left corner on the eye. Now it's important to keep the control button pressed and click here on the gray cube, and you see the SmartClick select window is opening. And now you see here you can type in numbers. Yeah, when you type in like 255 and 255 and close it, yeah, then you see the background is white. So 255 is totally white and 0 is totally black. So we click on the eye again, click here, keep the control button pressed, and click here on the SmartClick for touch areas. Then our window is opening, and now we type in 0 and 0, then we close it, and you see everything is black. Yeah, and now you can customize it yourself, and here I type in 99, and you see it gets a bit more lighter. Yeah, so you can play around a bit to set up your default. All right, yeah, that is a new function, and lots of guys had a desire to do this, and now it's also possible. All right, now we are coming to next great function, and therefore we need to click here on the division tab and drag and drop here a vertical in it. So I need to go back to the cabinet tab, and I need to choose another connector to display it to you, and we are also activating the arrows. So now we have a cabinet, and when we want to let the verticals passing through top and bottom, you see here are appearing now red arrows. Yeah, when we go on a glass view by clicking F6, then we see here it's a collision. So there are already two options to fix this, and now we have a third way to change this, and I will show you the function which are already available. First of all, you can go with your mouse here on horizontals, and you can activate the passing connectors. Yeah, then when this is activated, you see we automatically getting passing connectors, and the red arrows are disappearing. So when we put this function off, it's appearing again. So I'm changing to the rendered view. Another option is you click here on a smart click on the middle side. When you click here, you can go here in a setting. So, and here you can type in offset of vertical. So that means the offset of the vertical connectors. And when you type in like 20 and save it, then you see the errors are disappearing. And when we go back to the glass view, we see here the offset. Yeah, this function is also, I think, from the beginning of the year or from the end of last year. It's also pretty new. Yeah, so I just check the chat. Yeah, you have to keep press the control button and clicking then on a red cube. Yeah, because here when you click on here, you can go through the menus. Yeah. Keep it in mind, the control button, we have also other functions today where we need to have the control button. Yeah, you will also get a list with short tutorials which are describing our new functions and showing you how to handle this. Okay, you will receive it in an email in your from us. All right. So, but now back to the new function. When we go here in a cabinet tab and here in the drop-down menu for the cabinet, you can go now here in the settings, and what is new is we have here the P2P button. Yeah, it means part to part, and when you click on here, you can make your own rules. So this will, when you download the newest update, this will be in English as well. Yeah, that means side left, side right, yeah, and bottom part. So yeah, so you can now choose here new name of a rule for your connectors. Yeah, that is a really new complex function. There will be also made a webinar later on to show you all the advantage of this. Yeah, I call it now here row construction webinar and click here on new. Yeah, and now you can choose the top panel and the middle side, and you can choose now a different connector like Cabineo, and then you click here plus. So here it was covered by my Zoom display. Yeah, so you choose here the part. Yeah, it will be for you also in English. That is now the top panel and the middle panel, and you choose your connector, and here you click on plus. Yeah, you can now go to the bottom panel and click on plus. And so you can create for individual cases, individual rule, and the program automatically choose the right rule. Okay, so we are gonna close this. And now we're clicking on save. So then we can close this. So you have to close TrunCAD and start it again. That is this plate. And then when you started it again and you click here on a drop-down menu, you see here it's appearing our row construction and also here row construction webinar. Yeah, and you see now we have here the Cabineo for this case. Yeah, so when I prepared this webinar, I also tested it here with row construction, and here we have a dowel. All right, yeah, so there will also be in future new webinar also to show you more cases for this. All right, yeah, now we are going to our next function, or I just check the chat. All right, that was the question before. All right, then we are going to our next function. Therefore, I start a new project. We don't gonna save it. So for the next function, we are going to the division tab, and here we have our drilling pattern. So yeah, the other day I've made a webinar about the drilling pattern, about the wing line L top. And when we go here in a setup for the drilling pattern and we choose here the wing line L top, yeah, you see when we go here on this button, we see here all position of the drillings. So you see here that is our second drilling pattern. After the backslash, you see that is our first value. That is in X direction. You see it also here. That is a formula. So then The third position is about the Y position, and here the Z position on a fourth place, and here the last both, that is the depth and the diameter. So you see it displayed also here, and you click on here and you see it's highlighted in yellow. And you see it's also in here. So yeah, now you have a better overview for your drilling pattern. So what is also coming with this function, I will close this, and we are going back to our other view, and I just choose here a drilling pattern and drag it and drop it in here. So you see now this is displayed here, that is for a rubbish bin, and when I click F6 to get the glass view, and you keep now also the control button pressed, yeah, keep the control button in mind, and you go here over drilling pattern, you see also the position of it and also the name. HW means hardware, and Mülleimer means rubbish bin, and you see the XYZ position and also the depth. Yeah, here when you go over the Climax, that was available before, as that you see the connectors and drawers when there are some. Yeah. All right, that's for this position. And now we are going to our next one, and therefore we are going back to the rendered view. And that is also about a new upgrade. When you keep here also the control button pressed and you go with the mouse, yeah, when you go here over a corner, you see also the point. That is as usual. When you go in the middle of the part, you see here also the side right, the ID number, the measurements, the dimension of the part, the material. Yeah, and what is new in this info box is when you have veneer or a surface, you see also this information in here. Yeah, you see on this material set, I don't have a veneer or a surface, but when you have it in your material set, then the information is also displayed when you keep the control button pressed and you go with the mouse over this part. All right. So now our next new function is also really convenient when you want to create new material sets. So therefore we're going here on the material tab, yeah, and I just looking for oak. So you see here an add. When there is an add in front of it, then it means it's used, it's made by the automatic function. Also, when you double click here on the material tab, yeah, you see, get this also in a separate window. So I type in here oak as well. So in preparation of this webinar, I also checked this new function, and the outcome is in here. And now we are creating a new material sets. with an edge bending. Yeah, so I will close it and show you material. So the material set is appearing here. The material set consists of the panel, which is in here, as well as the edge bendings. So you needed to do it manually, but now you can use the automatic function, and therefore you need to go in the TrunCAD folder. So I just drag it and drop it in here. And so, yeah, so usually in C, you have here the software folder, and here you have TrunCAD 20XX, and you need to look for the TrunCAD ini file. So just scroll a bit down. So you have here the TrunOpt.ini and the TrunCAD ini file. Yeah, that is a configuration file, and it looks like this. And when you double click it, it's getting opened, and here you can scroll down, and you need to put this mat set auto in this kind of bricks. Yeah, and below on this you type in mat set, it means material set 1 equals 2 underline 2 underline 2 underline 2. Yeah, that means the thickness of the edge bending for the front, back, left and right. So when we have it here for 2 mil, for 1 mil, and for 0.5 mil, and here the material set 4 has just on the front edge an edge bending, and here with the 4x it has on no edge and edge bending. So I will create here a new one. Yeah, we call it mat set 5 equals 2 underline 2 underline x underline x in capital letters, and here it is material set 5. So we are closing it. Click on file and here on save, and then we are closing it. Keep in mind, because now we have made here a change in the TrunCAD ini file, so this update of this file is not loaded now, so you need to close TrunCAD and start it again to have this function available. Yeah, because I have made it earlier, except the last one, it's already made in my system. So we are closing it, and now we are creating a new material. So therefore I just choose this one here, oak 18 millimeter. It's actually, we don't need to choose any of one. Yeah, that's why I deleted everything. So we are just choosing here this one, and we are going here in the material set. Yeah, and I just say the thickness is 25. So here you can define your raw length and raw width of it. Here you can link the photo. So I choose a different one now, and I call it now Oak Webinar. So we are saving it. And what is also really important, one edge of it has to be here. Yeah, that's why I copy this, and here we are also creating an edge bending or webinar thickness of 1, price 2, and the texture we have here also the oak one. So we save this for 1 millimeter. And now we are going here again. And the thickness for 2 millimeter. And save this. So, all right. Now I close this again and open this file. So now I am watching out here for our Oak webinar. So, and now we click here on Auto, and here it means shall we create automatically the new material sets. When we have existing ones, that will be overwritten. And now we click here on yes, and we are closing it. And now we are searching for webinar. Yeah, and you see here we created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new material sets. So you might notice I haven't created an edge bending with 0.5 millimeter, but in the TrunCAD ini file I can show you I have created here a material set of 0.5 millimeter, but is not created because it hasn't found an edge bending material like this. Yeah, that's why I created this for 2 and 1 millimeter. You see that is appearing here for 1, all edge bendings, 2 here front and back edge bending, here just front edge bending, and here no edge bending. Yeah, but nothing with 0.5 because I haven't created it. Yeah, I've just made it to show you that is important. Okay. And now I just see an earlier questions when I went to the rules of the construction connectors in part to part, and you will have this. I go back here. Yeah, you will, I think you mean this when you click here on P2P, that will be in English for your update version. Yeah, I already contacted our development department, and it will be available in English language for sure. All right, I will close it, and this as well. And yeah, I think that is it. And now I check my list to go on to the next function. Yeah, the next function is only important for when you formatting on CNC. Yeah, therefore you need to click here on data export, and when we go to the CNC editor, it's now covered by my Zoom window, but I can also click here on a part. Then you also get to the CNC editor. Here, when you click here on the editor tab, and here on the CNC tab, and here when you go on the formatting tab, the next function is only important when you activated here the checkbox formatting on CNC. Yeah, it's only for this relevant. So I close it, because when you have like certain materials which are which shouldn't be formatted on a CNC, you can click now on a webinar on a material tab and go here in a material set, and here you see the set or new set. Yeah, when you open now this panel, you can deactivate here the checkbox formatting on CNC, and when this is deactivated and saved, and you use this material and you don't want to formatting it on CNC, it won't be formatted on CNC because you haven't activated this checkbox. All right, that is it. I think that is also clear, and I will close it and go to our next function. Our next function is also really convenient, and it's about the drawer boxes. And therefore, I add here a horizontal, and we are going here in a front tab and here in a drawer box. Yeah, you already know you can choose here the height, the hardware, and when you go here in a setting, especially for wooden drawer boxes, you can choose here different constructions. Yeah, you see it here, button and groove for 1, 2, button beneath front and back. Yeah, and here 3, front is passing. Yeah, so you can also choose here the distance to bottom, yeah, the overlap, and so on. So when you have more defaults, then you can also save your default. Yeah, let's say here I call it now, we have here construction type 2. Yeah, and I call it now webinar 2, and I click here on export. So, and now we say we want to have here also construction type number 3, and I call this webinar 3. Click export. So, and now I save it. So, and now we just say here we want to have 3 drawer boxes. Yeah, I click F6 to get the class view. and now we have here the glass view, and now we are going here on the drop down menu for the drawer. So here that you already know, you can change here the hardware, yeah, like from Movento to LigraBox. I will go back here to Movento. You see also in the glass view it's changed. So, and now you see here a new box below, and here we have the Movento wooden drawer box, and you see it's changed. So, but it didn't appear what I have set up. I need to check it. I think I also need to close TrunCAD and start it again, that this will be displayed. Yeah, we are going back on the end to it. Before I want to show you something else, because when we go down here, you can also choose connectors. Yeah, you can change here the connectors. That was also available, but now it's also available to connect here the bottom part. Therefore, you have it here. And when you choose here, like the dowel, it's also displayed in here. Yeah, for the connectors of your drawer box, you can also set up here new connectors. Yeah, you see here our dowel connections. You can save them also dowel for drawer boxes, or you use later on here the P2P button, and here you can also choose this for your drawer boxes. Yeah, I think in a couple of weeks or months we will also publish here a webinar how to handle this. All right, yeah, so this the connection to the front with a bottom panel of the drawer is also a new function, and now we start a new project and go to our next one. So clicking on file and new, we don't gonna save it. So now we go back to the rendered view. So, and now we will make a trim on top between the sides with an overlap to bottom, and therefore we go here on the cabinet tab, click here on the drop down menu for trim, and say here between sides. So here we can choose a height of 18. So, and now this new function is especially to highlight a guideline rail from sliding doors or from like LED spots lights, and therefore you activate here between sides. When you go here on cabinet and say overlap at bottom like 100, then it's a automation that the top panel get an offset of 18, and this will be extended to the bottom of 100. So yeah, it was also you were able to do it before, but now it's an automatic function. Okay, and now the next function is going along with it. You can here also add a connection panel. When you go here on the between side drop-down menu and here on the setting, you can go here on the drop-down and setting, yeah, and here you can choose connection panel. Yeah, 0 means no, 1 means yes, and here you type in the width of the connection panel, like 40 mil, and here you can also choose a connector, yeah, like dowel, and then you save it, and you see here the connection panel is appearing, and when we go to the glass view, you see also here the dowel connection. All right. Now I will change this. Yeah, so I want to say no trim. I mean trim on top of the cabinet, 50, and I want to have here 0. So when we have trim also on side, so I activate it here on the right side. So you see we have here also the connection panel, and now the newest function is also that wasn't available before, that you can have this parallel to the trim on the side. Yeah, therefore you need to go to the setting. Yeah, you see it has now a 90-degree angle to the trim panel on top. And when you go on the drop-down menu here, no, I mean on the drop-down menu on cabinet, and go here in setting, and you say here connection panel -1, and save this. Then it should have been twisted. I just check something if I have made it right. So just give me a second. So it should be a negative value, and we save it. Yeah, I made I made a mistake. So I think my colleague also set this to the development department, that it's standing here in the info box when you have like minus and here like -50, yeah, and it's get twisted to 90-degree. All right. So Now we have two more functions to show. So the next one is when we have a door. Therefore, we are going back to the rendered view, and we are adding, going on the front tab, and we are adding here one door, and I just check, does we have here the hinges? Yes, we have. And now we are going back to the glass view, and you see we have here 5 hinges. So when we go here on a setting for the front, so you see here we have the distance of the lowest hinge, here the distance of the upper hinge, the maximum distance, so it wouldn't be more than 600 between these two hinges. Yeah, and an additional hinge of is coming when the door is wider than, in this case, 700 millimeter. So what you see here, offset of hinge P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Yeah, in our case, we just have here these 5. We are going, P1 is the lowest hinge, and then we go up. Yeah, P5 is the highest hinge. So let's say for any reason, yeah, you can also say like the offset of hinge P5, we just say here minus 50. Yeah, that was also available before. Then it's going down 50 millimeter. But let's say you don't want to have the hinge in the middle, that is the P3, then you type in here -1, and -1 means it will be disappeared. So when we save it, I go back here to the rendered view, go here again, I didn't save it. So we say here in the middle one -1, and here we say -50, and click on save. I just check it. Now it's saved. So, and now we are going to the glass view. So yeah, now you see here the hinge in the middle just disappeared, and here this hinge went down 50 millimeters. All right. Last but not least is also a really convenient function, and it's an LED groove. So I just click here on File, New. We don't want to save it, and I choose here a rendered view. And now you go here on the Interior tab, and you see here is displayed a new icon, LED. When you click here on the drop-down menu, you can choose here the distance of the LED groove from the front. Here you can choose the width of it, and here the depth. And here you can choose, do you want to have it on the top, on the left, right, or bottom, or on every panel? Yeah, then you just activate all checkboxes, and when you have made your selection, you just drag it and drop it in this area, and you see here the hinge is appearing. And when you double click on apart. The site is opening. So, and you see here also the groove is appearing in a CNC editor, and also when you export it to CNC, you will also get this groove on your CNC. All right, that is it. Now we are done, and you will receive an email where you find also the link to the update patch as well as to the webinar which is recorded, as well as to a list where you also see the tutorials for every function. So thank you for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you next time. So take care. Bye bye.